And federal authorities say they've taken another big bite out of the mob with the indictment of 8 alleged members of the Genovese organized crime family in North Jersey. Investigators say the faction specialized in illegal sports betting and numbers running enforced by murder. The suspects, all from Bergen County, include reputed capo Streaky Gatto, 3 of his relatives, and a former policeman. Trish DeGasperis reports.
Federal authorities say that these men were responsible for conducting the largest illegal sports betting and numbers running ring in North Jersey, and that they used extreme violence, even murder, to oversee their operation. In a pre-dawn raid at various Bergen County locations, officials apprehended 6 alleged members of the Gatto faction of the Genovese family, including Louis Gatto Jr. and his brother Joseph. 2 others remain at large, including Louis Gatto Sr., who authorities say is a capo in the Genovese family. U.S. Attorney Samuel Alito stressed the seriousness of their alleged crimes.
I'm sure that many people think that sports gambling and illegal numbers are not very serious or threatening crimes, but this group is charged with using extreme violence over a long period of time to further and promote their gambling operations.
Alito said the group operated in 2 areas. In Bergen County, this deli in Lodi was a center for numbers running, and in the Washington Heights section of New York City, the group ran its sports betting operation. Officials say that undercover FBI agents helped break the ring.
They were able to gain acceptance to a certain level within the organization and were able to provide some intelligence and some evidence about the scope of the operation.
Authorities say that this is the second major blow to the Genovese family in New Jersey. Just last month, Bobby Manna, allegedly the number 3 man in the organization, was convicted with 4 associates on similar charges. Trish DeGasperis, New Jersey Network News, Newark.
Good evening. The mob and the police. Federal and Bergen County authorities are investigating corruption inside the Lodi Police Department. Officials are looking into claims linking officers to illegal gambling, prostitution, and the Genovese crime family. As Belinda Morton reports, county investigators are helping manage the department during the corruption probe.
Federal authorities are trying to determine if members of the Lodi police knew about gambling and prostitution at an unlisted local massage parlor and also stolen goods at this local gym. The massage parlor's owners are believed to have ties to men indicted for gambling and loan sharking, headed by reputed Genovese capo Joseph the Eagle Gallo. An unnamed police officer told the Herald News of Passaic that the cops hang out with the guys who run these businesses and knew what was going on. Federal authorities say John Gatto has run the North Jersey faction of the Genovese crime family since his father, Louis Streaky Gatto, was convicted in 1991. Local officials say the allegations are unfounded, and they welcome the county monitors.
Everything that has been going on is really just allegations and conjecture. I couldn't, there's no charges have been filed.
Law enforcement officials would not comment on camera. However, the Bergen County prosecutor in a written statement said his office is not conducting a takeover of the Lodi Police Department, but rather monitoring and assisting in its management, operation, and administration. This is not the first time Lodi police have come under scrutiny. About 6 years ago, 2 officers were sent to prison for admitting they accepted cocaine payments from a drug ring that operated out of a local bakery in exchange for looking the other way. Despite misconduct claims, local residents stand behind the police department.
A lot of the fellas come from longtime families of Lodi. So we respect, their family background.
I have the highest esteem for all our police officers. I think they do an excellent job in the borough of Lodi.
The county monitors will remain at Lodi Police Headquarters throughout the federal probe. Belinda Morton, NJN News, Lodi.
State officials crack down on what they say could be a medical mafia in the healthcare industry. Good evening. Kent Manahan is off. I'm Kent St. John. State police have arrested a dozen people associated with the Genovese crime family in North Jersey. The charges reveal not only typical mob activities like gambling and union corruption, but also infiltration of the healthcare industry. The 12 suspects were arraigned in Jersey City this afternoon on racketeering charges that include asserting control and influence over 2 unions and infiltrating a healthcare corporation. The arrests were part of a 2-year investigation in which a cooperating witness tape recorded the defendants.
We allege that these 12 individuals are part of the New Jersey faction of the Genovese crime family. They face charges including racketeering and conspiracy involving a health maintenance organization that brokers coverage for more than 1 million people in 5 states.
The arrest warrants were carried out at 15 locations, including Tricon Associates in Hasbrook Heights. The CEO of Tricon was Stephen Mazzola, identified as an associate of the Genovese crime family, who allegedly helped the crime family penetrate the healthcare industry. Prosecutors say they made their money through extortion and bribery.
They charge $100 per year per member. By way of kickback, they may get the provider to provide those services for $60, take $20 for the mob, $20 for the provider who put it in, and all of a sudden that which the consumer should be getting for $60, he's paying $100.
What makes this kind of fraud so offensive is that ultimately all honest consumers of the healthcare system bear the cost of it.
Still, the Attorney General says the consumers should not fear that the quality of health care is affected.
We're talking about money and illegal profit.
Governor Whitman today issued a statement concerning the arrest, saying rooting out corruption practices will remain a top priority of her administration. Officials say the undercover investigation produced no evidence that Tricon clients participated in any criminal activity. 9 reputed members of the Genovese crime family face racketeering charges tonight. After a 2-year investigation, they were rounded up from their homes early this morning. They were later granted bail. Rich Young reports their alleged criminal activities include loan sharking, bookmaking, and illegal influence in the garbage hauling industry.
You have anything to say about the charges?
6 of the 9 arrested said nothing as they were let out of the Totowa State Police Barracks this morning. 8 men and 1 woman are named in a multi-count indictment. Some face charges of running illegal gambling and loan sharking operations in Bergen and Passaic counties. Others are accused of racketeering for their alleged involvement in the trash hauling industry.
2 defendants, Anthony Rizzo and Joseph Abate, were charged with being leaders of organized crime.
Authorities say Rizzo and Abate are the leaders of 3 mob-run businesses, including 2 companies at this site in Middlesex County. State Carding and Mall Maintenance Systems jointly share this address on Smith Street. Authorities say both are run by the mob.
Essentially, this case is about money, power, greed, and influence. Some of the oldest vices we know.
According to the indictment, the reputed organized crime members virtually eliminated competition in the garbage hauling industry. For example, State Carding here was guaranteed certain contracts. We're told if other companies tried to cut in on its business, they'd face threats of having to deal with the mob. Venero says those threats have a big impact on all New Jerseyans.
That's what makes this kind of alleged crime so appalling, because it saps energy and resources from the honest marketplace and therefore affects all consumers.
The attorneys for those arrested did not return calls to NJN News, and no one came to the door at the Woodbridge site, even though cars were parked in the lot. If convicted, those charged face thousands of dollars in fines and lengthy prison terms. Authorities are also seeking to forfeit the businesses and assets named in the indictment. Rich Young, NJN News, Woodbridge.
According to published reports, former Governor James McGreevey and several of his top aides have been called to testify in a mob-related case. McGreevey has denied any involvement in the 2002 parole of reputed Genovese crime family capo Angelo Prisco. But a parole board employee sued the state, saying he was retaliated against for raising objections to Prisco's parole. The employee claims political pressure motivated the parole.